Problem number 1, data sufficiency. It says a thoroughly blended biscuit mix includes only flour and baking powder. What is the ratio of the number of grams of baking powder to the number of grams of flour in the mix? So if we were to assume that this container, if they weren't totally mixed up, some percentage of this is going to be flour and the other part is going to be baking powder, but it's all mixed up. In order to know the ratio of grams to the of baking powder to flour, we are looking for this relationship. So one way to do it is if we knew this total size, and then if we knew the size of one of them, that would help us do it. Now, one of the things in data sufficiency that's really good is before you start looking at the 1 and 2 to see if they've given you enough information, just sort of take a moment and think, what is it that we need to know? And before you look at the at 1 and 2, try to guess, what are we looking for, and that'll help you quite a bit. So let's look at 1 right now. So 1 is saying exactly 9.9 grams of flour are contained in 10 grams of the mix. So it didn't tell us the entire size of the entire thing, but it did say in 10 of them, in a small segment, and remember these are evenly mixed, it gave us what the percentage was. So since it's evenly mixed, we could say if for only this size, 9.9 is flour. And that is going to be the same ratio throughout the entire thing since they're evenly mixed. So 1 will actually is sufficient. It'll tell us. 2, exactly 0.3 grams of baking powder is contained. Here it's the exact same thing. It's taking another sample. It's saying here's the mix. Here's another sliver of it. We don't know how much of that is, but it's saying 30 grams, and it's going to say that zero point 0.3 is the baking powder. So it tells us the same thing as 1 does. So 1 is sufficient, 2 is sufficient, and both are sufficient independently.